Welcome to Win 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 Win. This is a Mom of Eight conversation. We are so grateful for the Win Win Women platform and the behind the scenes friends making it all work smoothly so we can gather to care, connect, and collaborate. It's truly a win win for us all. I'm your hostess, Reagan Barnes, and I am a mom of eight and a founder of the nonprofit organization Mom of Eight. We empower you to elevate your mothering experience. Joining us today is Marie Kabis, a fellow show host here on Win Win Women. And you, Mom, you are joining us. And we are so glad to have you both, Marie and you too. We welcome you into the Mom of Eight community, or Mom Unity, as we like to say. We are moms united in our passion to create a better world for our children, with our children, and through our children. Join us and become a Mom Unity member. It's free on our website, momofeight.org. Together, we'll upgrade motherhood into a more desirable and doable profession. Here at Mom of Eight, we answer the question, what do moms do? With this uplifting statement, moms raise up society. That's right, not just our own kids, but all of society, including ourselves. This acronym is jam-packed with the far-reaching impact of intentional mothers who strive to improve and progress in these areas of motherhood. We're not just chauffeurs and short order cooks, as we repeatedly do bedtime routine and load after load of laundry. It makes an impact that goes beyond our homes. Because as moms, we are uniquely positioned to influence society one-on-one. As we take on the repetitive, loving work that shapes our children, it shapes us too. Today, with our special guest, Marie, we're going to focus on the category of energy and get even more specific and dig into the subcategory of rest and meditation. As moms, these might be unfamiliar words. So Marie is here to share some insights with us on the importance of making these words part of our daily lives. So welcome, Marie.
Thank you. Thank you, Reagan, for having the gift that you're offering me to help other women, help mothers, which is we're all in the same boat.
Yes.
Where we need to not be selfish about thinking about ourselves. Actually, it's being very helpful, and not only for yourself, but for the whole family. You're serving not only your family, you're saving yourself with the meditation, with the time that you take some time off for yourself. And that only grows for the whole family well-being.
I agree. I think that we have to connect those dots and realize that as we take time to rest and to meditate, that our family benefits because we will be in a better state of mind.
Yes, state of mind.
I already briefly mentioned that you are a Win Women show host and that you specialize in face yoga. But I also want to mention that you are a mom, that you've been given two children and you've always been actively involved in their lives. Can you tell us how old they are now and what stages of life they are in?
Oh, yes, it's been one of the most amazing gifts in my life because I married later and my husband and I met at 30. So we got married at 34. So I had my Sophie a little later than normal at 38. And Mikael, I had 40. So Sophie is starting university Tuesday. It's
my
first day.
Wow.
Yes, I'm so excited for her. She went to visit the school yesterday. She was telling me all about it. She was all excited. And my son, Miguel, is 17, and he's finishing high school, secondary 5.
Oh my goodness. So they are
It's,
really getting into those grown-up years.
yes. Actually, this whole weekend, we have also the weekend, Labor Day weekend also. And he
Okay.
left for the first time camping with his friends. So I was a little bit skeptical,
Right.
but we have to let go and we have to give them the space and
Roots
uh,
and roots, right?
breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah, well, and breathing in and out does make me think of yoga. And I have in my notes that you've been practicing something called hatha yoga for
Yes,
27 years.
actually over 30 years now. So I'm
Oh
giving my age.
wow. Oh my goodness. And how is that yoga different, or is it just a name for a form
Well,
of yoga?
hatha yoga is mostly there's different categories of yoga. This one I really connected to. First of all, it's the first one that I that I was taught because I was going through a moment of questioning in my life, and I had lost my job, and I was so confused, and then I discovered, I said, let me try this yoga. So my mom said, what is this? Is this a sect? I said, no, it's not a sect. It's just, it's just I've been doing a lot of exercises in my life, but hatha yoga, Reagan, it allows it's a smoother type of yoga where we concentrate a lot of stretches. We do a lot of there's breathe work, learning to breathe for different levels, because you know it with the breath that it affects totally the brain. It allows to bring the oxygen into the body. It relaxes your not only your mental state but also your way of looking at life, the
Yeah.
way of accepting people, accepting their decisions and your decisions. It's a whole way of looking in a more soother way. And I was able to introduce yoga to a lot of my friends, which are practicing still, and even older people that started to chair yoga in their facilities. So I was very happy that yoga has really been part of my life.
Yeah, I would like to share briefly my personal journey with
Please.
yoga. It was several years ago. It was the year preceding my third pregnancy. My neighbor invited me over to do really a rather simple yoga. This was actually on a VHS tape.
Yeah.
So that tells you it was a while ago. um, but she would invite me over. She was just right next door. And in the evenings, about 8 o'clock, my husband would put our two toddlers to bed, and I would head over and do yoga with her. And I had never been exposed to yoga before. And I was, I had two toddlers. So I was in this young motherhood time frame of just consistent exhaustion.
Yes. Yes, I
And
know.
body aches from either carrying a kid or carrying a diaper bag or getting up
Not
and
sleeping well.
down the floor, either to play or clean up from playing. But yeah, sleeping wasn't ever consistent or constant. And so it just took a couple of months really of going over and doing that yoga tape with her to gain this conviction of what yoga was doing for me. It was really on a few different levels.
Levels.
Yeah. So
Like
first of
what?
all, it was helping me get some time out of the house, right?
Yes.
A lot of times there's a term used called the stay at home mom. And I think that had maybe gotten into me subliminally that I have to stay at home. Um, but I needed a chance to get out of my own four walls and visit with another adult, and it helped me feel constructive because even though it was a yoga tape and so it was on the TV, I did feel like it was a form of exercise, and I wasn't
Yes.
really just sitting watching TV, which is
Yes.
what I probably would have done if I had been at home, right? Like that's all I felt like I had energy for. So it felt like a form of exercise, but it wasn't a strenuous exercise that I would avoid because I was so exhausted. It was a very relaxing kind of
Exactly.
exercise. And of course, since I was doing it with the neighbor, I had this good friend in that neighbor. She was a little older than me. She had older kids. She was on a second marriage.
Yeah.
So I could kind of pick her brain and get her answers and insights on parenting and marriage and various things. I wish every young mom could have a couple of good friends like that who are willing to share challenges as well as triumphs and learning moments and things like that.
And it's important because you see, for my yoga, it was my Wednesday nights. When
Yeah.
I would just even think of walk, I would get into my car. That was my time because
Yeah.
I always told my kids, I am your mom. But before being your mom, I was Marie. And
Yeah.
before being married to your father, I was Marie. And
Yeah.
then I married your father, which I became a wife. And then I became a mom. But the mom has part of it is Marie too. And
Right.
Marie needs to meet with Marie once in a while.
Yeah.
So I had explained that to them very slowly, and they understood, Mommy, Wednesday night, Mommy's not home. So
That's
I was
great.
working full time also. So they knew that they would go to my in-laws sometimes, but as soon as I would sit in the car, Reagan,
Yeah.
it would take me 10 minutes. Right away, I felt like 10,000 pounds were just dropped from my shoulders. I would start to yawn because for me it was very relaxing
Yeah.
until I got to, because it was at my yoga teacher, she invited me to an intermediate class because I had met her at a local gym, and it was like overall for everybody, it was like an introductory. She saw how I loved it and I was really gaining and understanding the exercises, and she goes, look, I'd like to invite you to my house, which
Oh,
was a private women's club. We were like 7 women in her downstairs in her she had a locale, just made it everything just for yoga. So
wow.
we created a community of women helping each other.
Oh, that's
So the
beautiful.
first 5 minutes, everybody had a chance to talk to whatever they needed to talk about for the week, and
Yeah.
whomever can help her try to find a solution. And my teacher's from India. So every year she would go back to India and she would learn something, take a course, come back and teach us. She has
Wow.
become my friend. She has become, actually, I have to call her. She's going to come over for a tea. Uh, and since COVID, she hasn't taken back the course. Anyways, it's another story. But all of this to say, it's a whole community that was built at her
Yeah.
house. And she's helped so many women.
Oh,
And
that's
she was a
wonderful.
blessing. She's still a blessing in my life.
Yeah.
And she will always be. And I told her, I wrote a card very quickly. I'm going to finish with the story. I wrote her a birthday card and I said, Anita, till the day I die, I will always remember the yoga. If I'm still like on a chair and just wiggling down, you will always be in my heart because you changed my life.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, isn't that a wonderful feeling to know how yoga can serve so many purposes? It's not just a form of stretching. It's
oh, no, 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 no.
I
It's a
feel
mind
like
and body connection. And that's
yes,
how I discovered face yoga. Because
yes,
through the breath, through all of that, when I discovered face yoga, which totally changed my life because I had forgotten myself on the to-do list. Even though I had 2 kids, I
yes.
was working full time. I was working 12-hour days. My husband also. And we bought a house, wanted to pay the house, pay the renovations. So there was a lot going on, but my body just wasn't, it was too much. Like
Yeah.
working 7 days on 7, doing the laundry, the house, and the
Yeah.
food, anyways. So my body just cracked.
Yeah.
I was so fatigued that I remember when I used to go do the grocery shopping, Regan, I couldn't get out of the car.
Oh,
Like I bought the food, I would bring the bags in the car, and
yeah.
then I had to go home, right? I
Yeah.
had no strength anymore.
Oh my.
I parked my car in a quiet street, like 1 or 2 streets away. I would bring down the chair and I would just sleep. And I don't know how long, sometimes half an hour, 30, 40 minutes. and had gained back the energy to go back home, to take the bags out, clear everything out, place everything, and prepare for when the kids would come back from school. Anyways, it was a
Yeah.
journey. It was a real journey.
Yeah.
So when I
Yeah.
discovered face yoga, which made me feel good, also gave me a beautiful glow, allowed me to reduce the wrinkles because I was looking older.
Yeah.
I said, this really works.
Yeah.
So I decided to launch myself in my own business at 52 because I felt a calling. Because I was praying during that time, I gave my resignation for 9 years. I was at
Oh,
home taking care of the kids, doing my volunteer work, reading books, taking psychology courses, but I wanted to work with women and serve women. And this voice was becoming stronger and stronger, period. And until I discovered face yoga, I said, this revelation really, my arms started to shake. When I was on a webinar listening to what face yoga was all about, and I said, oh my God, this is really for me.
yeah.
So it's been a process and it's been a gift and it's been oh my goodness, the amount of people that I met like you, Emma, how amazing that were on TV, that were able to touch so many women around the world and being able to at least teach them, at least tell them that there's something else in the world to take care of themselves too, in a natural way.
Right. Yes, I love that. I do. I think that it's interesting how yoga is considered a form of exercise, and yet it can be so restful,
Oh yeah.
and it can introduce an opportunity for meditation because of the time frames when they say, just focus on your breathing, and in some ways, some of the poses that I've enjoyed, this isn't in face yoga, but just the regular. Um, some of those poses feel almost prayerful. And
Oh
I think
yes.
that that's part of meditation is a connection with whether you believe in God or are just aware of how the universe has superior powers to our mortal powers,
Oh
and
yes.
connect with those things.
And you said it very well because yoga is also considered as a prayer
Yes.
because you are communing with your body and your body is whole, is holy, and it's whole. So respecting all of these aspects, and the body needs the oxygen to let the blood flow, to get the organs going, to get the heart pumping. So as much as 40 years ago, they considered yoga as a taboo or as another way of living, but it is so, so important to be able to bring in the breath and to bring in the joy, but to love you as you are, with the body that you have, whatever body it is.
Yes. Yes, I love that, and connecting, and I really love some of the descriptions as they describe how to do the yoga, and then as I try to follow that description, I'll realize, oh, this is a part of my body that I've never paid attention to before, and now I know how to interact with that part of my body.
That's
Uh,
the same thing for face yoga, Regan. If you'd like for us to do a little exercise together,
oh yes,
you'll really understand what I mean because you have to experience face yoga. You can't just talk about it. You can talk as
okay,
much as you want, but when you experience it, you understand it and you
wonderful.
adopt it.
Oh, wonderful.
So, do you have any idea how many muscles we have in the face? Just out of curiosity, just because I find it's important. We work with our bodies with the yoga, but everything that's on top of the shoulders is something that we never thought about, right? Do you have an idea how many muscles we have in the face, Reagan?
Well, I really like to read about being joyful, and one of the little tidbits I've picked up is that it takes 87 muscles to frown. And so I think that that's at least 87 muscles. It only takes 13 muscles to smile. That's
Yes,
something I read. I don't really know if that's true, but 13 muscles versus 87, like let's be lazy and smile instead of frown, right?
exactly. And it makes you the endorphins get going also with the smile. I mean, it's a whole, it could be another category, another another topic. But just to say that we have over 57 muscles in the face. Would you like to see them?
Oh, yeah. You
Let
have
me
a
just show
picture?
you the big ones.
Oh, my. Look at all those.
Isn't it pretty?
Wow. And they have lovely names too. I really
Yes.
enjoy learning different languages. So that's funny to me to see medical words that seem like a whole different language.
So we have over 50 muscles in the face. And
Wow.
the fact that face yoga allows to reduce wrinkles and sagging skin, let's say the 11 lines, the forehead wrinkles, the crow's feet, the double chin, the nasolabial folds, but also it has a whole medical aspect that people are not aware of, in the sense that we're able to reduce headaches, migraines. Do you have any of those?
I personally don't get
Good
headaches
for you.
hardly ever. It's a blessing.
Good
I
for
grew
you.
up with a mom who always had a headache, pretty much
Mm.
always. She just kept living her life the best she could, but very often it was, oh, I have a headache, you know.
So also what face yoga does, you see the reason why I'm asking that, we release toxins from acupressure points. You're familiar with acupressure points,
Yes.
right? So we have them on the forehead, which allows to reduce headaches, the eyes, which we have, some people have eye fatigue because they're working a lot on the computer. So redness, dryness, bloodshot eyes, all of these aspects. Again, face yoga is allowed to reduce. Technically what it does, face yoga, Reagan, let me just tell you from the basics, is that we're bringing the breath that's penetrating the blood system, that's penetrating the muscle to bring in all the nutrients. So we're toning the muscles, basically, and we're creating a foundation for the skin. So we're understanding how it works as it's pushing upwards, so it allows to reduce wrinkles and sagging skin.
Wow.
Okay, but also releasing toxins.
Yeah.
In the sense where the headaches are located, can be in the back or in the front or on top or some have on the side. We're releasing tension. Okay, where we have acupressure points, forehead, the eyes, the cheeks. There's a lot of tension. Do you have any TMJ by any chance?
I personally don't know,
Oh,
but I
goodness,
know
oh goodness,
people
good for
do.
you. Because 1 out of 3 of my clients have TMJ. So it's a lot of pressure in the jaw area. So
Yeah.
people grind their teeth or they wear mouthpieces at night. So there's a lot of stress in this whole area. So we work acupressure points also, you see, because everything is based on the posture. So if it's from the hip to the head.
Wow.
So if the posture is crooked, Reagan, the head is asymmetry. Right? If you're sitting like this, how do you want the head to be allocated?
Yeah.
So if your posture is straight, you're able to have symmetric head.
Nice.
Well, more chances to.
Right.
Because you're more conscious of what you're doing.
Wow.
So all of these aspects are important to understand, that face yoga is such a beautiful life tool.
Yes.
And through the process of working the exercises and the muscles, you're able to also connect with your body. And something we've never thought about, that we're able to do that in very serene, very calm state.
And
very
how beautiful. That's yeah, and that fits in so well with the idea of how yoga is so relaxing. I like the words you used of serene.
Yeah,
that's
it
great.
is so much so. Would you like to try an exercise?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so before we start, hopefully your legs are uncrossed, because I want to make sure that the blood is, yes, it is. Okay, good. Because we want the blood to circulate everywhere. So we're going to be just taking a moment to reconnect, because we're talking about energy-based. Face yoga gives a lot of energy. And a lot of my clients, when I teach them, when I coach them personally, they tell me that's like a meditation. So it's a way of connecting with yourself. So I'm going to ask you, we're going to be breathing in from the nose in 5 counts, and we're going to be exhaling from the nose in 5. Okay? However, I'm just going to take a moment. When we're going to be inhaling, Reagan, we're going to take a pause for 10 seconds, okay? And we're going to be visualizing, the breath is going to be coming from the abdominals, okay? So what I like for your audience to understand for the meditation, I invite you, when we take a pause, to visualize the beautiful color pink. Why pink? Pink is a color that soothes your nervous system. I've studied colors, and I was reading a book that was mentioning that in the prison in the States, they didn't know what to do with their prisoners when they're getting agitated, they were getting upset. So they decided to paint the walls pink in one room. If somebody was very agitated, they would put him in this wall, and in this room, let him sit for 20 minutes by himself, and he would calm his nervous system, and then they were able to speak to him properly. He would be calmer and to have the fact of being able to think straight, to give his proper answers, that would be ideal for him. So that's why that when you visualize pink, you really would calm your system. Okay?
Okay.
Ready? So
yeah.
if you like to close your eyes, it's up to you, Regan. It's whatever you feel comfortable. Okay? So we're going to be breathing in from the nose, from the abdominals for 5 counts. Breathe in. Now visualize for 10 counts, visualize the beautiful pink color that is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger, and just taking over your whole body. Now exhale in 5 from the nose. Breathe in. Hold for 10. And this beautiful pink color that's coming from your abdominals, that is just growing all the way in your body. Soothing down your nervous system. And exhale from the nose. Wonderful. So this is very important. The most essential is to reconnect. I know we have 2 more minutes. I just wanted to do one exercise. Is there some part of the face that you like to concentrate on? Is it the forehead, the eyes, the mouth, the lips, the neck? What would be?
My kids often tell me that I have a resting mean face. That if I'm just sitting there, that my face looks. So
Okay.
I don't know if there's something that can help with that.
So yes, let's lift up your smile. How's that? Okay. It's called a smile lifter. And what we do is we bring the tongue, we work a lot with the tongue, which is the strongest muscle in the body. We bring the tongue directly to the nose, like you pull your tongue as much as you can, okay? To the nose for 5 seconds, and slowly you move the tongue to the right for 5, and slowly to the right for 5. Continue the smile. So let's breathe in. Relax your shoulders, Regan. Relax the jaw. Slowly the tongue to the right. Slowly the tongue to the left. Move it very slowly. Beautiful. And release.
Oh, wow.
Breathe in. What did you feel?
Oh, well, I didn't realize my tongue counted as one of the muscles. I knew the tongue was a muscle, but when we were talking face muscles, it didn't occur to me to include the tongue.
It's very much part of face yoga. So you can do this exercise. You can do this anywhere. You're driving your car. You're doing your laundry. You're doing your gardening. You're doing whatever you're doing. Sometimes I do it when I do my green beans, you know,
Right.
when I'm cutting the pieces. So whatever I'm doing, it just makes you feel good too. We just did it at just one moment, but that's what face yoga is all about. There's so much more to discover.
Well, that's exciting.
There's over 70 exercises that you can discover for the whole face, for the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, the lower back. There's a whole aspect of working the posture.
Well, I'm glad that you have a show then here on Men and Women so that people can watch more and discover more and interact with you through your website, faceyogapassion.com. And
And
thank
they
you for
can,
introducing us to that. Even just with a couple of things, we know that uh, we are that you might be watching this as a recording, and we want you to know that our show is live every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And when you join us live, we actually end the recording and then interact with the live audience. So in the future, be sure to join us live. But we're so glad for each of you that has joined us here, either on the recording or live. And we look forward to more interaction in the future. Thank you.
thank you, Reagan.